Hello, today is the 11th of October 2020 and I'm reading on Rebekah Mercer. Rebekah Mercer, Sagittarius, born December 6th, I believe. And I want to just see how things are going to go for Rebekah. Just what is she up to? Little check-in with her, okay? All right. Rebekah Mercer. How are things going? Let's look behind the curtain with Rebekah Mercer. I asked the Creator, the ancestors, and the spirit of divination to assist me to read on her accurately and to relate accurately the message. Rebekah Mercer. Okay, first card we get is of the Gentleman. And in this case, it would usually be referring to somebody who has more like dark hair, dark complexion, and we're getting the card of theft. Sorry, I am behind taking this stupid nail polish off. Okay, so the mice can also be not only about theft, but just loss and anxiety also that are going on. And so I feel that this is, for her, what she's experiencing or feeling within regard to this male here, who, according to this card, I love this deck because it has there's better cards that point out to more, gives you more clues, more individual type clues of who to look for. In this case, it would be a male with dark hair, possibly also dark complected, and this person is worrying her, or she has concern over them. There's a great deal of energy that she's putting forward, and it's anxiety type. So she's not sitting too comfortably. There's somebody that's making her nervous. With possible loss, and the loss can be of health or wealth. Okay? Clover is like luck and loyalty with the dog. Remaining loyal to someone. Let me just see some more. Okay, we have a child here too. I'm wondering about her husband, and I'm wondering maybe about his health. I'm shown she's loyal. I see a child, so I'm figuring the, children. I think this is Rebekah. She has dark hair. There's another card here that's more for lighter complected and lighter hair folks. But I think this is Rebekah. Interesting that the mice also comes around her. There's loss with this male figure that she's devoted to. Maybe she's the child of, could be her father. The tree, yeah, I'm getting more of the family connection. The family tree, literally. The house. This is dealing with her home and domestic issues around her locale. Gotta look up where she lives again. Yes, she's very close to this male. I really tend to think that it's her father. The moon. Secret crap. In this case, this can also this can have a secretive element to it in this deck. It can also mean something that is admired, something that is there's a lot. It just depends on the cards around it. And this, to me, in this case, is coming out, especially with the energy here with the mice, as being kind of, on the secretive side. Yeah. So let's just continue. The bear. Ooh, there's a great deal of protectiveness and strength here. And change with the stork. Okay, so I'm seeing concern that she has for a male who I think could be her father or husband, quite possibly. And I'm shown great devotion to this person who, frankly, might be having some health issues. This keeps coming up in this reading over and over again as unresolved health issues, health issues. The tree is health, and then you look at the cards surrounding it, and we're seeing home, and we're seeing the dog, we're seeing loyalty, and we're seeing good luck, and we see her there, and fiercely protective. This is very emotional for her. This is somebody she's connected to. This shows commitment. It shows marriage. So it could be her husband, somebody that she's had children with, perhaps more her husband than her father. But there's a change in this relationship I saw at the very end here with this stork card, which is about change. And the interesting thing is, it's the last line is saying, this is a very close, private relationship. There's a lot of emotions here. It's very protected. It's very private and secret. There's a lot of secrets between them. But this fierceness of energy, this is maternal protectiveness, changes somehow. There's a change with the stork. And we get then the card of the coffin and the cross. So we get an end of something. Sometimes a relationship changes. If this person's having health issues, they could pass. And there's a very, very heavy burden. This is going through a very heavy burden. So I'm thinking her husband might have some health issues that she's going to be very focused upon. She's going to be much more focused upon her health, her family, and her own family health concerns and needs, because it looks like there's a male who is having some health issues or going to continue to have some health issues. And I don't know about how things are going to go. There's a strength that is changed, and there is burden, and there is an end. And I'm also, interestingly enough, shown the bouquet and the fox. So there's some kind of manipulation. There's some kind of attempt to make something look better than it is. Definite manipulation, definite lack of honesty. I think there's something definitely up within her family concerning a male that she's very close to, likely her husband, possible health issues that I'm being shown. She's very devoted, but there's something that changes, and I don't know if something with his health it looks like it's going to change dramatically. Possibly with that coffin, and the health issues, doesn't look very good. But something changes, and it becomes very burdensome for her. What she used to feel like she was strong enough to carry feels now like this is beyond my ability to carry. It feels much heavier for her. Okay? Maybe this is just her lack of honesty about what she's going through and presenting things as if they're all grand. I'm not sure. There is a significant ending in her life within her family. So we could hear something in the future or not, because they're very private, around her husband or her father's health. There's something along those lines, I think, that looks like it could become a real hard core health issue going on. Great deal of feeling here too, great deal of passion. A passion also about appearances. So that's why we get this fox and this trying to make it look like a big bouquet when it's not, when it's a burden. And she's not feeling great. There's not something so wonderful. And I keep getting for her that she's very emotional right now. Very emotional. Very, very, she's in a very protective maternal mode into the near future. But then a little bit further down the road, it changes somehow with that stork. And we see there's an end, and there's feeling a heavy burden. And she has a lot of emotions tied to this. An older person, the whip, there's changes in relationships for her too with this. I mean, certainly if someone passes and someone getting sick changes, your relationship. It deepens it. There's a lot of devotion. But for her, there's something that changes from this, which looks like feeling really strong, to feeling really burdened, that I notice, and very emotional. and I'm being shown people, a male and people in the family that she's very, very, very attached to. And there's, I don't know, there's some kind of change in the relationships there. Possibly her husband or father, like, not certain, but it's significant. Maybe both. Coming to a point where she has to make a decision. I think continuing to try to create confusion or fund confusion, nothing's changed there. She's still active in that. But I think she's going to try and cover her butt with this cloud and the snake. The clouds and the snake. She's trying to, kind of sweep her footsteps, her footprints. She gets some kind of exposure with communication in the letter further down the road, and she's going to try and hide because there's deceit. This family has deceit. It feels like part of their genome. So that's really what I'm getting on Mercer right now. She's really concerned and focused on, I think, male family member, particularly in her household, who's having health issues and who she's very devoted to, but with whom there is a change coming and there's an ending. So she's also very emotional. I'm not quite clear, but I still see that she's up to dirty tricks. But they're going to get exposed, some sort of exchange or information concerning her, and she'll be trying to cover it up. That goes on into the future, and I'm not going to carry on with her because there's other things I want to cover. So that's just a little check-in on Rebekah Mercer. On to the next video. See you there. Bye. Hello again. I just want to look at one thing. I want to see if Mercer supports Donald Trump this year. She's really supporting him. Okay? So despite the fact that I get her being worried about her family, that came up, that's in general. Now I want to put a direct question regarding Trump and all of this stuff. Rebekah Mercer, is she supporting Trump financially? Is she supporting Trump financially right now? Is she supporting Trump? How does she feel about that? How does she feel about Trump, and is she supporting him financially? Is she backing him? There's an obstacle. There's an obstacle as far as her backing him and supporting him. And that obstacle, again, I'm getting the home. I think also the home can also apparently, according to this deck, refer to a mature male. We know that she's very devoted to her father and very devoted, I think, to her husband, potentially, at least to her father. So I'm getting a sense of maybe Daddy doesn't approve of him this year. There's some obstacle to approving him and funding him, I think. Here's the Tower. And it's hectic. There's more. He's creating too much chaos. Now I know that we would say, but isn't that what they want? Apparently, I'm thinking they don't feel like it is help strengthening their position. They don't feel like it is helpful. If you're going to create a distraction, I don't think they're approving of the ones he's been doing. Thus, the huge block of, they put a block to access, to his access. That's what it looks like to me. Okay. I also feel like within government, you're just going to see people are at each other. There is this highly competitive, but just also just like it's a harsh environment, and it feels like there's arguing. So I feel like it's showing me that there is argument where I think what he's doing or what he isn't doing as far as they're concerned, and perhaps that's why they put a block on his purse that they would have filled. I feel like it must be coming probably from her father, a mature male, because the home, they are very private home based. I mean, these people, I thought I was a homebody. I think these people are even really more in their own bubble, their own fortress here. The key. The ship. I think that's Rebekah, the lady. Let's move this up. And the anchor. She's trying to secure and keep her invited. I don't think, for one thing, she doesn't like, I think, the potential of being drawn into all of that drama. I think her and her family have a very set way about themselves and about how they like their life. And they want security. There's somebody else, I think, maybe that they're choosing to put the money toward other people. I think for Trump, he just Mercer is just not. No, that's a no on him, but a yes on other people that she feels are more stable. The Mercer, oh my God. So they don't think of him as being stable enough for the job. I think they think he's too flighty, literally, and not creating the stability, the strength that they think he should have done. So I feel like they've cut themselves off from him, but there's other people I think that they're funding. And a key person that's going to come on the scene, I think, here with that ship. Or she's moving on. But this is also a key individual. I just don't think she feels like he's stable. She's probably throwing her, my guess would be toward Pence. He's the religious one, right? Maybe she's thinking, yeah, Pence, you should just take over. Here's the cross. There's a burden. She finds him a burden. She She finds him an anchor around the friggin' neck, and not in the good way. Here is the anchor in the good way, that she's wanting to get away from, I think, the chaotic energy of Trump. I think she just doesn't think it's effectual. She wants to go with people that are effectual, is my feeling here, with that second line especially, and putting that money flow towards stable players. She finds him to be a burden. It's all here's the a burden that has to be dealt with in a clever way. Also, there's the trickster aspect of this card with burden. There is manipulation. Sudden information coming in. But there's a lot about secrets here. She's trying to keep things hushed up. I think it's a leak. I did see her with the reading prior that she gets exposed for some information, some exchange, personal exchange, it looks like. And I'm shown that again here. There's some information. There's information that will break, that will help people to understand. I think also perhaps putting it toward Davos and people like that, education. She's really desiring stability here, because here we have the birds, then we have the anchor and the book. She's looking for, I just don't think that she feels like he is grounded enough. And she is trying to protect her secrets and activities. And life becomes a lot harder for Rebekah with the cross, and trying to keep her secrets and her maneuvers and manipulations under wraps. They get spilt. That tea gets spilt. That information comes out. I also am shown another female here. I wonder if it's Kellyanne Conway. That just came to me, Kellyanne Conway. And her health. There's I also feel like family tree, her family. There's a decision. She's at a crossroads. There's with duplicity and lies, where this kind of thing means once you chose to go one way or another, the end result, she still has, yet it's showing me possibilities of choices, and it's important, the choices that she makes. But look, unfortunately, I also see the snake, which is about deceit, being basically a liar and someone who is low down and in the way of really out for themselves. And a liar. So I'm going to leave it there. I see this shows up some sort of an more about older people in her life, maybe her father, and memory starting to. But I feel like no, I feel like she's going to try to protect her father. And that's the message I get. She's going to try to protect her father, her husband, from any kind of information that I think will end up being leaked that shows details in the future about her activity in linking to these people like Trump, like Conway, and others. I feel like there's definitely something that they have gone off Trump a bit, but they are throwing the money toward the players, other people. And she looks like she's a bit caught up and emotional to do with some health issues within her own family. I'll leave it there. That doesn't mean, though, that she isn't involved in other things to take down Democrats and get a conservative Supreme Court person in, because she's all about that. I just don't think it shows that she has faith in Trump.